It was kind of funny you mentioned like bringing up all the bullying that's been going on, because one of the topics I wanted to talk about today was, if it always feels like, even though we're surrounded by people that like all care for each other and the community's dope, I always feel like real lonely apart from like five or six people, you know? It's
Yeah.
really weird. Like the community always feels smaller than it actually is. There's so many people that give a shit about custom shoes, you know? And I think a lot of it's because of that.
I mean, bro, I feel lonely too. I think that's why I'll be watching like Twitch and stuff.
Hmm.
It's just-
Wait, who do you watch on Twitch?
I watch some wild stuff. Like, bro, honestly, I just bounce around until I just find something that I feel like is decent enough to listen to. It's just like even like on YouTube, bro. I've been listening to like a lot of Sunny V2. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this dude CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I just been bouncing around, bro. And it's like I'll watch like One Piece sometimes, but then it's like those times where I feel like lonely for some odd reason, like watching or like Penguin Zero.
oh yeah, Charlie from
Yeah,
Moist
like
Critical.
yeah, for some reason, like when you listen to those kinds of like YouTube, I don't know. I feel like I'm having a conversation even though I'm not talking. It's weird.
Yeah, dude, I feel the exact same way. I also like, it's weird because it's a whole other world that's like connected to our world. So like for example, like CoffeeZilla, right? Like he'll talk about SBF and like the whole FTX thing going on, and like he's diving into like Logan Paul, like
Oh yeah, that's my top
crypto.
three of those.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy because like that's all connected to reality. Like CoffeeZilla, like, does journalism based off of things that are actually happening, but the whole like internet realm of like Moist Critical, like Mizkif, Ludwig, like there's like a whole world of people with that pretty much exist only online, which is fucking wild. It's so weird.
Yeah. So yeah, bro. I don't know. It's like when I watch like anime or something, I still feel lonely. So I can't watch it every day. But for some reason, like a Twitch stream or stuff like that, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I'm being a part of something. It's weird, bro. I don't know.
No, I feel you, dude. I don't know if you're the same way, but I know my like level of loneliness, I guess, changes with things as time goes on too. So like video games, I used to get really immersed into, and as of recent, I when I play video games, I don't know if I need to put more effort into like making it more of an experience or what, but like I'll just hop on, and then I kind of still feel like I'm just playing a game in my room. I can never really get into whatever I'm playing, regardless of the game. Um, so yeah, that's why I've been enjoying things like outside of games recently, like doing a lot more reading and just trying to find like other worlds that I can get immersed in.
I
Um,
think it's just partly just getting older.
you think?
Yeah. I mean, because bro, I was like, bro, I love games, or even like wow. Like when I was younger, like 18, 19, bro, I was no lifing the hell out of that game. And it's
Mm.
just like games in general, bro. I would just get lost in it. But it's just like now I can't sit down and play as long without getting like antsy.
And see, because you have like other things that you need to do.
Or I'll just like kind of lose interest. I'll lose interest quicker in playing. I can't play as long as I used to. Like before, when I was younger, bro, I could sit down and play video games from 8 in the morning until 2 in the morning, bro, and be Gucci.
Mm.
Like now, it's not like that, bro. I could sit down and maybe play for like an hour to 2 hours, then I kind of get bored, and then I just go find something else to do.
Dude, so what's kind of interesting? I kind of went through like a like a video game crisis like the last couple years, which sounds so dumb, but I was the same way that you were. I would play games nonstop, and like that was the way my friend group connected. So we would all like get together at somebody's house and have like a what we call like a dude night, and we just play Halo, like hook up like old TVs to three different Xboxes and play split screen Halo with like six people. And as time has gone on, like uh I've found that satisfaction like in different ways through video games. But I wondered, like, if there was a different reason other than just more responsibilities and getting older was causing like me to not enjoy games anymore. So I found a video that was all about that. It was, I can't remember who it was. I wish I could reference it right now. But he was talking about, you know, why people lose interest in video games and what you can do, like if you still want to enjoy video games, like how you can get back into it in a new interesting way. And one of the things that he said was you have to treat it more like a date with yourself.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting. I was like, stop treating it like I'm gonna sit in my chair and play some video games, and treat it more like, hey, this time after I'm done working, I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna like get fully immersed, sound, headset, the whole 9 yards, and just fucking focus on the game. Kind of like you're in a movie theater.
Yeah,
And
bro, I mean, when you go on a date, you don't go on a date for 5 hours, bro. It's an hour to 2 hours, and you out.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
If you go on a 5-hour date, homie, you on a serious mission. Get some TLC.
You went that with an agenda,
bro. Like, hey,
you have a checklist. You need to get done. What was your favorite place to go on dates?
Bro, I'm simple, dog. I don't know, bro.
You taking her to a movie?
Let's ride the movie, bro. Like I'm a homebody, dog. My wife is huh? What'd you say?
No. Keep going. You pause for a second. So I think I just lagging. I am.
Oh no, it's fine now. Yeah,
okay.
Bro. Like me and my wife are complete opposite. Like she's the go out, find stuff to do, travel, go on adventures. Bro, I'm completely content with just sitting on the couch and watching TV and calling it a day.
Really?
And I don't know if that's partially because of, you know, me touring for like 10 years. It's so fast paced, clubs, strip clubs, after party. Like, so when I'm home, it's just like, you know, nothing's going to top that. So I don't really feel like doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe that's it.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I need both to enjoy the other. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, if I sit in the house too long, I want to go out. And if I go out too much, then I just want to be home and do absolutely nothing. If I interact with people a lot, then I want to be by myself. If I'm by myself, I want to interact with people. That's why, like, I talked about this before, or we talked about this before, but like, I just feel like my life is just a check and balance, you know, like if anything's out of whack, then I got to fill that void. Cause then I just like won't be happy doing the other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been like that a little bit lately too. Like if I'm sitting in the house more, I've been wanting to get out a little more. So I started going back to the gym this week. So yeah, bro.
Do you go to the gym for like, so when you go, is it for like mental health purposes? Like I'm just going to get out and just do something active, or is it like, are you trying to achieve something physically? Like,
a little bit of both, bro. I'm tired of being fat. Like I used to be in shape, bro, like 23, 25, you know, that's when I really started getting more into fitness. And so I was just doing the whole like bodybuilding thing. And so, you know, I just had a good physique, and then you get married, COVID hit, have kids, bro. I look like a retired wrestler. So it's a little bit of both. I mean, I just got to get back into shape, you know, have more energy to play with my son, you know, and mental health too. Shit like Ric Flair. So
yeah, it's so good. That's fair. I go to the gym now, I guess for both. I'm realizing recently I need like a real challenge in my life physically. Like that takes me to the next level of like I feel great. Because if I go to the gym just to go to the gym, I kind of get bored with it. And then I'm just like, I don't get that satisfaction from it, really. I used to do the bodybuilding thing, and then I did like a little bit of a powerlifting phase. But I kind of realized pretty quickly that like my body was gonna cap out. Because I was doing like 5x5s at like 265 to 285 for squat, and like, you know, I reached like right below a 405 deadlift, and I was benching like 205, 215, and I was just like, just my body was like I was eating so much. I was eating so much protein. I was like sleeping. Like everything about my life was like focused on lifting. And I really reached the point where I was like, holy fuck, bro. My back hurts all the time. Like I felt like shit. I had no cardio. And I legit was like, my stomach was always aching from eating so much protein. It just was not, I just wasn't feeling good. And I was like, if I'm just doing this to lift heavy weights, I was like, I've already done that. My body's not, I'm going to be able to lift, I could probably lift heavier weights, but not much heavier. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to be the guy benching 405 in the gym looking like he's 155 pounds. Yeah. So I realized pretty quick I had to find something else. So now I climb and it's pretty fun.
Yeah. That was me too, man. It's like you just get burnt out tracking macros, weighing everything, going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week, always adjusting your calories. So I think I cut for like 6 or 7 months. So then when it came time for me to bulk, bro, I just went ham. I got up to like 300, but I was solid. And then it was just like after that, I was like, I got back down to like 240, and then I was just like, tired of this shit.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. I feel that. All right, I got a weird question for you. So, are you are you happy doing nothing? Or I mean, like literally nothing.
Like just sitting, just sitting in the room in the dark. I'm good. Like, really? If you're saying like this outside of me knowing I have stuff to do, like I don't have to do absolutely anything.
Right.
Yeah, bro. I sit in the room all the time just by myself, quiet, and lay on the floor.
That's fucking awesome.
Why do you do that?
I don't. But I've been like forcing myself to recently. I feel like I feel like I realized recently I rely on people a lot more than I want to. And I think part of that is you were talking about Twitch, and that's why I bring it up, because like I until recently, I almost never sit in silence. Cause like that's just me. You know, when there's nothing else going on, that's just me. But like when I'm alone, I'll always have Twitch going. And more often than not, I'll have Twitch and YouTube going at the same fucking time.
How do you listen to one?
I don't, but that's the thing. That's exactly why that's why I realized it was a problem. Because I was like, it's not an attention thing. I don't need them going on to focus, because actually I'll turn them off if I really need to focus. So I was like, why do I even do this? Because I'm just looking back and forth. I can't follow either of them. And then when there's something I actually want to listen to, I have to pause the other one. So I'm like, I don't know why I do this, but I realized I think it's just because I didn't really enjoy my own company thoroughly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just, it's kind of a guess more than anything. It's kind of what I'm moving off of, but
yeah, the only time I'll say I don't like it as much is if you kind of like in that slump, right? Or you're like in one of those moods, maybe like a depression bout, and then you just kind of overthink. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, yeah, there's times where I'll paint and I'll just cut everything off and then just kind of just have it quiet.
Yeah,
it just depends, bro. I'm a very like moody person, I guess.
Me too, bro. I'm very emotional. I feel like that's why we get along so well, to be honest. Just like I get you, boss.
So, bro, I don't know, man. Bro, I'll be moody because it's like I'll be happy that all of a sudden my wife is like, "Why are you so cranky?" I was like, I don't know.
Lucky woman.
Yeah,
lucky woman.
I don't have an answer for you, homie. I don't know. I didn't like the way my paintbrush looks in the holder or something, bro.
That's why, bro, I swear to God, communication is just the key to everything. Because I was actually telling my brother this the other day, where he was like, we were talking about, you know, him getting angry or just getting angry in general. And he was like, well, dude, he's like, when it happens, it happens. He's like, I can think about it later and control like the next time a little better. But he was like, in the moment, I'm just going to get angry. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, but we need to be able to like talk about shit like when we're angry, you know, like if I present something to you like, hey, like stop, you know, you did this, like didn't do all the dishes or whatever it is, then wait, why'd my thing get overexposed all of a sudden? Do you see that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So yeah, I'll be like, I'll bring up, hey, can you do all the dishes? And then I'll be like, either start to get angry or I get angry. And he was like, how can we have a conversation whenever we're both angry? And I was like, well, dude, just tell me, instead of trying to force yourself to not be angry, it's like, just tell me like, hey, dude, I'm feeling angry. Can we just talk about this in like 10 minutes so we can just chill out? And then I'd be like, yeah. And that's how I feel everybody should approach it. It's just I don't see the other way around it. Like, why just force yourself not to have the emotions? Like, you're an emotional dude, right? It's like,
I mean, I'm your brother technically, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how to say it, right? I mean, because I've never like actually went to a doctor and got diagnosed with autism, but I've always felt like I've had it. And I've talked to people like off record that said I had it, and then I took tests that said I had it. So I don't know, there's really no way to diagnose. Use a test, right? Oh, you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I do have it, if that's part of the reason why I get like that, or like I don't know, man. It's just I don't know how to say it. It's like when I get angry or I get irritated, it's like I can control it, but because I don't have a poker face, it's going to happen. Like you can tell when I'm irritated.
So, okay, so I'm the same way in that, like, I think I convinced myself that I'm good at hiding it, but I know everybody can tell when I'm angry or whenever I'm sad. It's I try my best to not affect other people with it, but I know that people can tell. I don't have a poker face. I wear all my emotions on my sleeves. That's like why I love talking about this kind of stuff on here too, because it in a way helps me like talking about it with people that aren't in my like day-to-day life too, and just getting some outside perspective from my boys. But so like I guess my point is like I'm the same way. And I feel the same way that Nate does. I feel the same way that you do, where if something makes you mad, you should be allowed to be mad. You can't like just tell yourself you're not mad and like move forward. If you just suppress everything that you feel, it's just gonna be a miserable fucking life. It's just gonna end up boiling up at some point, which is why like I love the idea of, even if you're in a relationship, whether it's romantic or with your brother or whatever, then say like, hey, if you're getting pissed off, just say, dude, I'm getting pissed off. Can we like talk about this in like 15 minutes, please? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Like, let me be mad, and then I ain't going to calm down right away. So let me take the time that I need to do it. I mean, that's kind of what I try to do. Because it's like when I'm mad, there ain't really no conversation, because I'm a passionate person. So even when I'm not mad, it may come off like I'm mad just because I speak with passion. Right? Like even when we be like debating on here, or if I'm even like on my stories, like I'm speaking at people or directly, but it's not because I'm mad. It's just I'm passionate about what it is that I'm saying.
For sure. Dude, I totally know that. That's why the AI episode was one of my favorite episodes. I love that shit. You and I, we used to get on lives too, and we just rant about shit or like anything art related. We'd argue or go back and forth about it, and I love our talks with that because it's just so fun. Like just being expressive, dude. It just feels fucking good. Like, and I love being proven wrong too. If I'm passionate about something and somebody else is passionate, then it's easy for me now. It didn't used to be, but it's easy for me now to think and understand and listen to somebody while I'm also speaking passionately.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be so, but
no, yeah, bro. I've tried to get better with listening as I got older, especially being married. But yeah, bro. I mean, that's what I like, man. I never wanted to be like a person to not be true to who I am or what I like, or to try to like fake the funk or anything like that. It's just like, even being who we are within this space, you kind of have to pick and choose your battles. right? Because, you know, like the me, bro, like I have no problem talking back to people. Like I'm not scared, and like that's just me.
That's OG Bobby, baby.
Yeah, bro. But
Absolutely.
you know, but just me being in the position that I am, I have to be smart. Like I have to kind of learn that not everything's worth engaging in.
Right.
And it's just something that you just kind of learn over time, maybe just maturing and getting older, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, dude, and I I do think I'm finding out that it's still like important for me at least. I can't speak for anybody else, but I used to I've gone through so many phases in the last like 2 years. It went from, I'm emotional all the time. And then it was, okay, now I'm emotionally fucking dead because I'm exhausted from being emotional all the time. I'm just a fucking limp biscuit of emotion, just walking around doing what I have to do, but like not happy, not sad. And then it went to like, okay, well, now I need to experience those emotions in a healthy way. So then I was like overly reasonable, where like I was, you know, kind of being a mediator between people and being like, hey, you shouldn't, don't get angry. It's everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just about happiness. And then now I'm like finally to the point where I was talking to my therapist recently, and she was like, dude, if you gotta scream or you gotta be angry, find somewhere you can do it. Like fucking let it out. And it feels so good, dude.
Yeah, I think that's why people do those. What do they call them? I don't know if it's a panic room, but the room where you go in there and you're gonna smash TVs and
Yeah.
electronics.
Yeah.
I need to
My
do
thing
that.
is yelling, bro. If I can't, like, I express myself vocally so much. That's why actually Oscar listened to our last episode and he sent me a voice message after he listened to it. He's like, bro, great episode. I enjoyed it like a lot. It was really good. But please turn your fucking mic down. It's like, all right, loud and clear. But like I have to, if I'm gonna be like in the moment, then I have to be able to express myself vocally. If I have to like suppress that and be quiet, then I'm just not there, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I have to say, well, that's why, like, even with my YouTube videos, I've had to get like the mic that's on top of my camera because I'm scared to get the lavalier that goes here, just because my voice is always elevating. Because when I
Yeah.
get excited at certain points, bro, I just get amped up, and I don't know nothing about editing audio like that, how to cut it down, bro. I don't have like the gadgets and stuff for it. I might need to get it, but yeah, man, I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel me, boss. That's why I actually wanted to allow you to talk more, because we referenced it right at the beginning of our conversation of the bullying going on. And I think it's funny because like I'm looking back now and I was just mentioned like the mediator phase for me. And I think that's like a lot of the times you'd come to me and be like, hey, dude, I'm really fucking pissed off. Like I I'm furious because people are stealing my shit and it's really irritating. And then my response would be like, dude, what's the big deal? Don't don't worry
Until it
about
happened to you.
it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now I'm learning the big deal, and that's why I like you brought up what was going on recently, and I would love for you to first of all like introduce it for anybody listening, but also like elaborate on how you're feeling about it because I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't talk about it. Like I said, it's just like some things it's not worth my time. But since you asked me, I mean, I don't know, bro. It's just
Well, so
the way
what's
people.
going on? What's going on? Like
It's
what?
like the whole like challenge thing that came up like 6 months ago. It was this whole ordeal, and it just got out of hand with people, and then it kind of died down, and then I guess it's coming back up. Like I don't know, bro.
So
But
what challenge thing? Like try to be real specific because there are probably people that have no idea what we're talking
like
about
I
right now.
don't. I guess it's the people challenging me to like a custom off. I guess if you want to say it, I don't know. Like they make a pair, that I make a pair. It's not a collab. Like it's a challenge, which I'm like it. The thing is, I'm cool with it, but it's the way people go about it that just doesn't make sense. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's like you subliminally talk about people, you be toxic towards people in the community, and then think people are going to accept it, I guess. And then it's just like the individuals who then turn around and say, oh, he's scared. And it's just like, and I guess that helps them sleep at night, because at the end of the day, it's just like when people say anybody's scared, me, if you're a rapper, basketball player, and it's just like, what are you doing to make me scared of you?
So just to be clear, so like the situation, if to relate it to, like, you know, you brought up basketball. So essentially what's going on with you and other people in the community is, if you're LeBron James, then right now Jimmy Butler's calling you out on Twitter saying to 1v1 him off camera. Is that what's happening right now? Or is that kind of situation where it's like somebody that is, you know, also like a decently well-known name in the community is calling you out and saying, this guy isn't shit. If he was, he'd do a paint off with me.
I mean, okay,
is that it?
Hold on. I'm trying to put this, because you said LeBron and Jimmy Butler. Dang, man. And it's like how I am, bro. It's like, I'm not even gonna take no shots. So yeah, you give homie Jimmy Butler. Cool, yeah.
Okay.
So basically that's, I guess, essentially what it is. So what happened was there was something going around that anime art was easy. So that basically just took shots at every person that does anime. Every last person that does anime to say it's easy, right? Because some of their work may be portrait work and everything. And I know before I said portrait work was harder, but then actually I thought about it like weeks later. I just never spoke on it, and I gotta kind of have to retract that statement. Because just because something takes longer doesn't make it more difficult. You know, patience on something doesn't make it harder. They're each hard in its own right. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're looking at anime art on like a surface level of somebody just stenciling something on a shoe, then sure. But people do the same thing with portraits. Take a stencil portrait and just try to blend it. That doesn't necessarily mean it looks the best. But if you're talking about anime and manga art on the level of somebody creating an entire book of dynamic poses and fight scenes and coloring and all of that, no, anime and manga art's not easy. You know, they each come from a place of understanding the fundamentals and the human anatomy. They're just applied differently. And so I can't say doing portrait art is harder, because there's a portrait artist who can't do what a manga artist or comic book artist does. That's a fact. There's two different approaches on art, just like there's manga and comic book artists that can't do hyperrealism portraits. They both come from the same fundamentals of understanding, but they're applied differently. And just because you can do one doesn't mean you can do the other.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, right, like if you think anybody that sits down and just draws, like for example, any like One Piece or Dragon Ball or even Spider-Man, if you think somebody sitting down and drawing an entire manga is easy, I want whatever you're smoking, homie. That's not easy. You think all these dynamic poses, understanding 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point perspectives, bird's eye view, ant view, learning to draw the human head and the human anatomy literally from every single angle and position with the poses, every part of the, like, come on, bro. No.
This is so I just want to kind of linger on that point, because I think that's an amazing point. And I think it also kind of ties into what we were talking about with loneliness, because I think from several different perspectives, you know, because somebody challenging you and saying, you know, I believe that anime doesn't take as much skill as portrait art, or I believe that anime doesn't take skill, or I believe that anime is easy, whatever it is, right? That in itself kind of breeds like hostility. It creates a situation where now you are immediately on the defensive. It's not like healthy competition. It's not like this person is doing really good work, I want to be better than them, or somebody looks at your work and says, hey, I think this is great, but like here are some areas that I believe you are like faltering in. Regardless of if that information is like wanted or not, like at least that's healthy conversation to have. At least that helps you improve. This is just in a way like a cry for help, like I
Yeah.
mentioned to you before. And so that in itself, I think, is very isolating. Anytime you're on the defensive, you feel like you're alone. It's very rare that like you feel defensive with a team of people. You know, it's like you against whoever is challenging you. So that in itself is very lonely. But I also believe that like the conversation about how many different layers it takes to get to a certain point, like the having to accomplish perspective, having to take into consideration color theory or design, all of those like principles of art, when you're talking to like anybody about that for whatever reason you feel that they like wouldn't understand, I feel like as a person that is also really isolating, because like I don't know if you feel the same way or if there's other artists that are listening right now that feel the same way. I'm sure there is, but it's hard for me to have conversations with people like my friends or family about what I do and not kind of in a way like dumb it down or talk down upon it, because when you dive into like what makes art and what makes it so beautiful and so difficult, then I feel like my initial thoughts are I'm going to lose people's interest. It's like they want to hear that I'm an artist. They don't want to hear like the inner mechanisms of it. And I guess where I'm going with this is that like I feel like it's isolating whenever we kind of think like that as well and say like these people don't understand or won't understand or don't appreciate what goes into it, because I feel like there are a lot of people that definitely would. And I feel like that leads to conversations like this where it's like, okay, this person is calling me out and this person doesn't understand what goes into it. Like this person doesn't understand what goes into portraiture. This person doesn't understand what goes into anime. I feel like that's one of the things that I want to try to accomplish with this podcast is just like educating people on that and having an open mind to having conversation about it and being willing to learn about it. You know what I'm saying?
Like yeah. I mean, 'cause my thing is, why can't everybody just be good at their own right? Like, why do you have to compare your work and think that you're better than people to the point to where now, like, you have to create an issue? Like, it's the saying, like, people that create competition in a space where it's not needed it's like a sign of insecurity.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and it's like, my thing is people try to compare the whole anime artists, and there are plenty of anime artists that aren't popular, right? Like anybody, I don't know if there's like, because I grew, and it's just like, bro, I have the same 24 hours you got. I have the same 24 hours that everybody else has.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm optimizing my time with my 24 hours to the point to where I want success and I want to be successful, so I sleep, eat, breathe, whatever I have to do to make it for myself and my family, like, how can you be mad at that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, people want to criticize individuals and then kind of downplay what they do, but do you remotely put a fraction of the time that the same person put in? Like, what helped me put it more into perspective, right? It's like, I don't know, have you seen like Last Chance U on Netflix?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, in putting it in perspective, right? Those kids are good, right? For them to be that good and still not make it to a Division I school. Some do, never make it to the NFL, some do, but then most of them don't even make it to the NFL, or they make it to the NFL, they make it to like the practice squad and get cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you to be like a LeBron James, to be the best at something, or even be a starter in the NBA or NFL or hockey, like, people don't realize the amount of work you'd have to put in to make it to be on that level. Like, bro, to be the absolute best at something, and even top 10 or top 100 in any category, bro, like, do you understand the amount of work ethic you have to even make it as a professional basketball player or a professional athlete in general?
Mm-hmm.
And so watching stuff like that puts it in perspective for me, which is why I try to do what I do and grind the way that I do and just work hard, bro. And I just try to help people. But then it's just like you have individuals, and again, I don't know why it's becoming a problem all of a sudden. Like, it don't make sense to me, but I just don't speak about it because there's really no point. Like, I'm not trying to be on the internet, you know, with, I guess, Instagram drama for no reason. So I just
Yeah.
don't speak on it. It just doesn't make sense, bro. And my thing is, I'm cool if people want competition or whatever, but like I said, the way you go about it, like, there's a right and wrong way to go about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like the way people go about doing it is messy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're tearing people down, you're criticizing people, you're trying to make yourself or elevate yourself by talking more about how good you are to belittle other people. And I just don't agree with that way of going about anything.
I think that even in an unspoken way, that's been happening in customs for a long time. I don't know why. Like, they customs feels like the community itself is really beautiful, like almost more than any community I've ever been a part of. I'd say, well, I would definitely say more than any community I've been a part of. I like find a lot of comfort in talking to people. I think there are a lot of amazing, like, talented, kind people that I could reach out and say, like, hey, I just want to introduce myself and just have a conversation. And while at the same time, like, I haven't seen many people do what I do and reach out and go beyond a DM and go beyond, wanting people to see your work. It's almost like once people meet somebody, or once they get that DM back, or once they get a like or a follow from somebody, they like check them off the checklist, and like move on, which is just, I don't know, man. It just makes the whole like landscape really feel really lonely. It just, like, that's why I want to bring on as many people as we can for this, and just talk about people and get to know people better, because it's like, yeah, it's just where I feel like I know everybody around me on a surface level. I feel like I know 4 or 5 people actually who they are, which, for how long we both have been customizing, and Dylan, I'm sure Dylan would say the same way or say the same thing. It just doesn't feel right,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's gotten worse over the last couple of years. I mean, I believe it has. Because, like, I mean, I can't speak for the years prior to the 3 years, but I feel like customs now are being more spotlighted, especially by like sneaker pages, more than what they were before. Yeah. So I don't know if that's creating more animosity with people. Like, oh man, because I even see it from time to time when people, these sneaker pages will post a customize, or if they post my work, you'll have people in the comments, hey man, be sure to check out my page too. And it's like, I get it, but I've just never been that person. Like, I'm gonna let you live, man. Congratulations. Like, it's not for me to promote myself.
Right.
And so I don't know if stuff like that with these sneaker pages reposting customizers' work and magazines, and you're seeing all these people more so now than before, being on these pages, to where it's like people that aren't, I don't know if they're like, oh, well, why he gets to my stuff's better than him, well, I should be on this page too, type deal.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, it's still kind of, I mean, I get it, but
what, dude, and it goes back to the conversation we had with Alma as well, I think, where it's like, what do you want from this? Like, I think it's obvious that everybody wants a certain level of success and notoriety, from their peers. They want money. They want to be able to make a living from it. They want, I'm sure, hype behind. A lot of people want hype nowadays, to be reposted by these pages and whatnot. But like, I guess, like, just the fact that we're having this conversation about loneliness and about the community kind of feels like we should want more than that, and like make more of an effort to have, like, be surrounded by people and learn about people and learn to trust people, and just, I think the conversation should just be about people in general. Because like you can look at from my example, if I'm looking at myself from fucking a bird's eye view, like somebody else's perspective, then I've gotten several times, and I'm sure a lot of people think like I have less than 4,000 followers, and like we have this podcast together. You know, it was like it's you, me, and Dylan. You know, we talked to all these amazing guests. You know, Ama and Nick and Selah Vic, and I'm surrounded by all the people that 2 years ago I didn't even know that were just I just saw your guys' pages. And the only reason why is just because we were all willing to have a conversation together and get to know each other. So I just challenge people. I'm just like, so if you want success and everything you do is for success, and you say like, go check out my page, maybe somebody checks out your page and they're like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. What is that ultimately going to lead to? Like, is that all that you are aspiring to get, is just as many follows as you can, as much money as you can, or do you actually care about relationships, you know?
Yeah. It's like it's the mindset thing, man. I talk about it all the time, right? It's like even like the whole jealousy thing. I mean, I feel like it's a natural human emotion. Like I get it. Like you see somebody else pop off, you think it should be you. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody on planet Earth at some point has been like, dang, man, I wish I had the opportunity, right?
Uh-huh.
But then it's just like, bro, like even if I remotely feel like that, I check myself. I say, hey, shut up, man. It's your time when it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I tell myself. And it's sure enough, I just grind and grind and grind, and things happen because I started working on my mindset. It's like even Jar, you know, Jar Customs, he posted this video of Steve Harvey in a story, you know, talking about stop saying you have to like go to work, or you got to go to work, you gotta get up, you gotta do this, and change it to saying I get to, right? Like I get to paint shoes full time as an artist. I get to do what I love to do every day. You know, I don't have to, because there are a lot of people that don't get that opportunity. So just changing that one word to I get to, it's like, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do these types of things because there are a lot of people that don't, right? We're all kind of essentially slaves to working. You know, I'm fortunate enough to where I get to paint, you know, as opposed to going to have to work for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're 100%. I think you're 100% on. We are talking about, Dylan and I were talking about different lessons that different generations have taught us, and how the generation before us, well, before me, I should say, because you're a fucking old geezer. The generation before me was so hell-bent on hard work and just work hard. Like if you always need to be doing more. And I think that is like something that I don't want to get lost as generations carry through. I don't want to lose that in me. I want to like perpetuate that, only with a smarter mindset towards it. And I think it's interesting because I hear you talk about like that a lot, where you're like, we both agree entirely, where it's like, you need to take responsibility for yourself. If there's something that you want, even if it's like, I want somebody to talk to me, maybe I want to be in a conversation with Daniel Arsham or fucking Joe LaPuma for Complex. Maybe that is your goal. You need to be able to like establish steps that you think will get you there, and then work your ass off every step of the way, nonstop.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's like, it's a mindset, man. It's just like we talk about the whole algorithm thing, and even like the whole bullying thing, right? A lot of people stemming from the algorithm. Oh, you do anime art, so you're popular for that reason only, blah, 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 blah. Bro, you can't always blame other people and the algorithm for everything. Again, many of people, you, me, Dylan, we all have the same 24 hours. We all post on the same platform. I don't know nobody at Instagram. I wish I did. Bro, I don't have any connections, bro. I literally paint my stuff and post it, and I don't speak or I don't say nothing. I literally post my work.
Yeah.
That's it. If it gets picked up by the algorithm, like, how are you mad at me for that? Like, I don't control the algorithm. Like, bro, this isn't Space Jam. I'm not what algae rhythm, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, how are you tight at me and then just blame the algorithm? No, maybe like you said, start off with what it is you're making. Has it gotten better than what you made a year ago? Are you pushing the limits with anything? Is it are people going to look at it and be like, hey man, I've never seen this before. This is crazy. Everything I post isn't a hit because everything I post is over the top, bro. And again, guess what? When I don't post anything that's not over the top, it gets regular engagement.
Yeah.
But when I post something to where I try to push the limit of stuff and add some crazy detail or something that people aren't used to seeing, it gets picked up because more people engage with it.
Yeah.
It's not just the algorithm, bro. The more people that engage with your stuff, it's going to tell the algorithm, hey man, this must be good content. Let's push it out to more people.
Yeah. And it encourages bravery, which
Exactly.
which I think is really fucking cool. I also, this kind of goes back to the conversation of like, what do you want? Right? Like I really do think everybody should sit down with themselves and just take, a couple hours at least to just think about like where they are right now, where they want to be. Like, what do you want to accomplish in the next little bit? And just create at least the next step towards getting there. Because like one of the most frustrating things to me is when I see or hear people that, make great money and they talk about how, I feel like I'm a slave to making content and I feel like this is what I have to do. And I don't like, all I want to do is create this kind of art, but, I feel like locked in. To me, and I was talking to Dylan about this last week, is you need to I feel like you need to take accountability and understanding that the reason for that is because there wasn't the forethought beforehand uh to make sure that didn't happen. Like you kind of the reason why people feel trapped is because you lock yourself into things, right? And I'm not talking about like privilege or economic situations, right? Like people can feel trapped for reasons outside of their control. But I'm just talking about like as far as just art goes, and specifically in the custom space, like if you feel trapped, it's because you've locked yourself in some way. And you need to understand that like in the future, that is going to happen again unless you make a change now. Right? Even if it's like a small change, you can still keep doing what you're doing to make money, but just like slowly introducing things in and working towards where you want to be. It's just like if you're unhappy with where you want to be right now, or you don't feel like you're getting the respect you deserve, or whatever it is, just say, this is what I want. This is the step I need the first step to get there, and just start putting that in place.
Yeah, bro, you gotta evolve. It's just like with me and YouTube. Like, I haven't posted on YouTube in 3 months, not because I don't want to. It's just me figuring out what direction I want to go. Like, I don't want to just be another customizer that just paints shoes and then post it on YouTube, bro. Like, it's already thousands of people that do it.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do it, bro, I want to do something different, which is why I want to focus now more so on, if I'm customizing shoes for YouTube, I want to do stuff with stories. It's different, even if it's not kilo, if it's something else that I just come off the top of the dome with, it's a story behind it. It's not just me taking Goku, putting him on the shoe and say, hey man, look at this Goku custom, which again, there's nothing wrong with it, but for me and what I want and what I feel like is satisfying for me to have a camera in my face, that would be it.
Yeah. No, bro, spot on. I think the reason why I get so like passionate about this is because it bothers me that like that's what I'm doing, and then people will tell me that like that's beyond their reach. Because like for example, like there were periods of time where I really tried to focus on growing my page and doing a lot of content and those periods of time were successful in some ways. Like there was slow growth, but there wasn't like crazy growth, right? But so like I realized what I actually want is to build a foundation both for like me personally, so like my mentality towards art now and going forward, my mentality towards like relationships and the people that are in my life. I want to be happy with myself. I want to be able to sit in a dark room in silence and like enjoy doing nothing. Um like I want this to have the structure in place so we can continue having conversations. I want all of these things that have nothing to do with social media. Like so much of why I'm on social media is for other people right now. Like I want like what I want out of social media is to use it why other people use it for social media, is to like keep in touch with people and like keep building relationships with people that I can't have in person. So it's like irritating to me because I'm like, I've I understand that everything I want, like even though I do want to grow my page, that is not my priority right now. I got another job. Like I work part-time, but I will be working full-time. Like I do what I have to make money because I realize like what I want right now I can't do while actively putting the time into also growing my page. You know what I'm saying? So like it bothers me where I'm like, I've decided what I want and I'm making the sacrifices so that I can be happy in the future. Now you're telling me that you're not happy, but you're not willing to make the sacrifices that you need to for the future, but you're also going to tell me that it's not possible. I'm like,
yeah. So like I said, bro, it's people that aren't willing to put in the work that you're putting in, but then criticize you at the same time. Like, so we all got the same 24 hours. If you making moves because you know what your end goal is to achieve that end goal, bro, don't be mad at me because I sacrificed stuff to get where I'm at. It's that simple, man. Everything starts with you, bro. And I don't think people want to accept that concept, right? It's easier to blame other people. Like even when stuff for me doesn't go how I want it to, bro. Like, oh, I didn't get engagement on this post, or nobody really watched this YouTube video. I check myself, bro. How can I make it better?
mm-hmm.
What can I do to grab their attention even more? And that's the honest to God truth of how I've been able to grow, bro. It wasn't because I was popular, bro. I started my page in 2020 of February, almost 3 years ago. And I even wrote it down in my phone. I had on March of 2020, I had like 40 likes and 7 followers, dog.
It's a pretty good ratio, actually. Holy shit. Sean's trying to be humble, but he was low-key popping then too.
No, let me see. I think it was 40. Let me see. It's at the bottom.
I'm trying to make this not as
no, I had 40 followers and 7 likes.
Okay, that's a little different. That's a little different.
Yeah. So February 5th of 2020, I had 40 followers and 7 likes.
So what did you do? Like, did you still just post pictures then?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's when I wasn't even showing my face, bro. I was an illusion.
You were mysterious, dude.
Yeah. So what I would do, I would post, but then I ran ads.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I did that for a bit, but I haven't ran an ad in like 2 years.
Damn.
And that helped me get my foot in the door. And then from there, but even with the ads, right? There's plenty of people that run ads and still don't grow. Mm-hmm. I was still trying to push the limit, so the ads worked for me, right? Because I know plenty of people that say, "Hey, man, you run ads. I run ads, and it's not working for me. I don't really get any followers, bro." There was time I ran an ad, I got like 3,000 followers a week.
Jesus, Bob,
but
that's
again,
insane.
That was because I was still trying to push the limits even then, so it was still something people weren't used to seeing. So even if it was an ad, people would see it. They're like, "Oh, bro, I've never seen anybody do this before." They'd follow me. Right.
Yeah.
So that even when I stopped running the ads, I just kept it going. How can I wow people even more? What do I need to do? Okay, well, let me switch the swoosh like this. So let me do this with the tongue tag. Let me do this with the outsole. There's something crazy, and then grew from even more. It's like even when it came to like Kilo, bro, like me adding wires and tubes and resin in the tubes and adding leather and purposely cutting in, like, it was different. And of course, there's people that be like, hey, bro, why would you do this to a sneaker? But then there are people that say, hey, man, I've never seen anybody do this before. This is crazy.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's I was thinking about this recently actually. It's when I think that a lot of people like kind of misunderstand, including myself a lot of times, when somebody posts something like it doesn't necessarily like when you're posting the tubes and whatnot, right? There's like in my mind equally as much of a chance that you were doing that as an experiment as it was like something that you wanted to continue doing moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So like if somebody is like, you know, I don't know, they post a new shoe, right? And they do something crazy to it, then I think it's like personally okay if that person didn't like love that and didn't say like that's the next thing I want to do and like doesn't want that to be part of their identity going forward. I think it's cool if it's like that's just an experiment that you want to try out and you think that it's worth introducing to the world because it's something that people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bro. That's all it was, an experiment. I don't think I've added wires again. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just at that time that was the idea I had, so I wanted to execute it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that people get caught up, and like I said, myself included. When I say people, I always include myself as well. But I think that people get caught up because they feel like what they introduce, especially after they've been doing it for a while, is like has to be representative of their like next progressions, like their next step, you know? And I think that that's like not a great mentality to have, especially if you're trying to improve as an artist, because it's really restrictive. And this happens to me all the time where like I have to battle with fighting against my urge to like want everything to be perfectly cohesive. And when I post, like perfect example right now is I haven't posted a physical shoe in months. It's all been digital. And like a big reason for that is because it was when I got into the middle of doing the AR runway stuff. And then by the time that was done, then I realized, hey, it's been ages since I posted a physical shoe. Like this next one has to be it. And I knew I was going to be done with Air Forces. Like I'd been wanting to be done with Air Forces for a while now. But I was like, what that means now is I have an open book. And I was like, I have to decide like what is going to be representative of me moving forward. Like people like want to know what my next silhouette is going to be, my next design. Like it's been ages. And I'm kind of trying to suppress that now and just think about what do I want to create on and on what do I want to create it on, you know?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to do it, man. That's why, like, even like with me, it's just if I have an idea, I'll do it. You know, it's like a lot of people just try to do things that are trending or popular, which may work for you. I purposely go the opposite route because I've never wanted to do stuff that other people are doing. It's just like I don't know, bro. It's just like I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like always go against the grain with everything. Like
Yeah.
even when like comes to sports, right? Like living in California, everybody likes the Lakers. I purposely don't like the Lakers because you like the Lakers, and it's like they, you know, it's like when you're living that city or state, you have to like this team, and it's like, no, bro, I don't. And, you know, my dad's a diehard Lakers fan. All right, bro, I don't care about the Lakers. Lakers suck.
So do you think so are you like a self-proclaimed contrarian then? Like if somebody likes something you
means, bro.
like okay, all right.
It sounds
so,
like a gym.
So if you like if somebody likes something, is your first thought to be like, I don't like that?
No, I think it's more so if everybody likes something just as for the sake of liking, like hype beast style culture.
I
right?
see.
Like, oh yeah, everybody likes it. It's just like cap, bro. I don't use the word cap for that reason. Like everybody uses cap.
No cap, bro.
Cap. I purposely don't use cap because it's like, bro, like I've never been like a follower, and when I just sit here and just follow trends, I feel like I'm a follower, bro. Like I'm not. No. So it's not like if one person, like it's just like if it's a whole bunch of people that just like stuff for the sake of liking it, like Yeezys. Like I like Kanye. I mean, well, you know what I'm saying. But oh yeah, Yeezys are the golden shoe. And I'm like, bro, I'm not buying a pair of Yeezys because now all y'all just liking Yeezys for no reason. It's just like, I don't know, bro. I think I just go against the grain because I like to prove people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my mentality is, if you say I can't do it, I'll do whatever I have to do it. And then that's satisfying to me. Just like with the shoes, right? Like, hey man, you do all this over the top stuff, you're not going to make that. Okay, I'll do whatever I have to do to show you that these crazy ideas and over the top things that I do on these sneakers will work, bro.
So do you feel like if you don't have that, if you don't have that person telling you you can't do it, do you think you do worse work? Or do you think you'd stop yourself from improving?
No, because then I'll tell myself that.
Interesting.
If I don't have that, I'll somehow tell myself, bro, you're not going to be able to sell shoes that are display only. And I'll be like, okay, bro, hold my drink.
So this is, I asked this because this is how I am. I find it really difficult to play both sides for myself. So like I thought you were gonna say that, and it makes me happy that you did, because like, so you're saying if you don't have that person telling you you can't do it, then you'll be that guy. You'll
Yeah,
say
bro,
like,
because
hey, yeah, you can't
I
fucking
know
do
what
it.
my end goal is.
But
I know what
like,
I want from my life. So if I have to talk to myself like I'm the Joker, bro,
uh-huh.
I'll do it.
Do you find it difficult to also encourage yourself and like be satisfied because of that though? When you have to
Yeah.
play the bad guy, like can you also play the good guy?
No.
And no?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably it because I'm very critical of my work. So even these shoes that I post that people be like, hey, bro, these are so fire, I still find stuff wrong with it.
Does that prevent you from being happy while you're working on a regular basis too?
No.
No.
I'm pretty happy. I mean, I'm happy when I'm creating, and then
Mm.
I'm even happy when I finish a project. But there are times where I'll even still look at a shoe and be like, bro, what were you thinking? You could have did better on that part. So then I just apply it to the next pair, or I'll try to improve what drove me crazy on that one on the next one. I think that's why I was always kind of like able to improve at the rate that I was.
Mm.
Because
Fuck
I would
yeah.
always find stuff I didn't like and then nitpick at it and then just try to improve on it.
I'm trying to find that happy medium, because right now I'm at like a crossroads with myself where with the times that I'm like super not negative towards my work, but very like hypercritical of my work, which I
Mm.
always have been, and
Mm.
I improve a lot and really quickly, or so I thought, until I realized that that was also making it so that when I'm hypercritical of my own work, then it also makes me hypercritical of like
Other people's
other
work.
of other people for sure, definitely, but also like hypercritical of me as a person as well. You know what I'm saying? So like if I have a shoe that I'm working on, then because so much of my like personal life and my just life in general is like creating and working, then if there's a shoe I'm working on and I look at it, I'm like, no, this is all fucked up. Like I did this wrong, I did this wrong, like I should have taken the pictures like this post didn't do well. I hate this fucking exposure. This is pissing me off. Oh my god.
It's when you
Oh
move.
my god, dude, I can't take it. Um, but so yeah, when I finish a pair of shoes, I'll be like, these are the things I don't like about it. And then I'll post it. I'll be like, I could have done these pictures better, or I could have made this reel better so that I got more exposure, or I could have chose a different sound, or I could have posted at a different time. Then that all leaks into like me personally as well. And I'll instantly be like, if I'm hanging out with somebody and they get pissed off, then I'll be like, I shouldn't have said that. Or like just reflecting way too much on things.
Yeah.
And so then what happens is the opposite, where if I just drop it and I just go with the flow with things, then like, especially with learning like softwares, I'll learn things so much faster because I'm more open to whatever happens. You know, my mind is more free and not locked into all the mistakes that I've made. It's more just like about progressing and doing what I want to do and just trusting I'll improve over time.
Yeah, bro. I'll focus on stuff.
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro. If I'm doing something, if I can't figure out how to do it, it'll drive me crazy until I figure it out. Like even I can be painting like in the middle of a shoe, and then just say, I don't know, example, like I'm trying to paint a foot or draw a foot, and I mess up on it. I will sit there and put the shoe down and focus on drawing a foot for like an hour until I get it.
Mm.
It's like even like at night, right? If I'm working on it, this is why I can't like work on shoes prior to me having to do stuff, because if I mess up on it, I won't stop thinking about it until I fix it. So that's why there's
Yeah.
times where I'll go to bed at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, because I can't put down a mistake and go to sleep. Bro, there's
Mm.
been times where I'll lay in the bed, literally lay there for like 40 minutes, trying to convince myself that it'll be there in the morning. And I'll just get up and come back in here and have to fix it before I can go to sleep.
Oh, I feel that. I fucking feel that. You know what though, dude? Are you an emotional creator? Like can you paint productively and
When I'm
well
mad,
when you're angry?
mm-mm.
Me either. That's what happens to me. That's because like you're talking about how you can't let it sit. There was actually the pair of shoes that's over there right now. I was going to post. There was actually two pairs of shoes that in the interim period where I haven't posted original shoes, I could have posted and I just didn't fucking like them. And I got so angry. And it's actually the same situation. I have a painting sitting at W and J that I haven't touched in months as well. And I feel like not bad, but like embarrassed because I mentioned to my professors at W and J, which is the college that I used to go to. I was like, hey, I want to get back into painting canvases, can I come to the studio? Like I'm taking like I have a totally different outlook on art than I used to. And I want to like apply myself to canvases the same way I have to other mediums. And he's like, absolutely, gave me all these resources, and I'll still go back. But it's been months since I've been there, and I've sent messages to him and saying like, hey, sorry, like I haven't been there, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's got his own life, so it doesn't matter to him. But it's embarrassing because like it's all for the same reason where I'll make mistakes and I'll get really angry and I don't like the way something looks. And then I have to get over the hump of like getting myself back into the studio to look at it like objectively and be like, okay, how can we solve this?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to like once I get that angry to get back into doing it. But once I do, I'm fine, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, bro. Like I was the same way when I played basketball. Like I played basketball competitively and I got hurt when I was like what, 21. The quickest way to take me out of my game was to get me mad because I can't play when I'm mad. Like my thoughts, I overdo stuff. And it's the same way like painting, like I have to be like a level of mad to where I can't paint. But yeah, bro, I was like that. Like a couple of weeks ago, I put that on my story. And I had like that, bro, you're trash moment. Like I was
Mhm.
painting something and I messed up on it. And I remember I just sat there and looked at it. I was like, bro, you're like, you suck. And that's why I put it on my story because I want to let people know, like, bro, like y'all may think I don't deal with stuff like that. Like people see my work, hey, bro, you're built different. But bro, I have the same emotions and feelings that everybody else have. Like where
Mhm.
I literally sat there and just like, bro, you're trash. And it took me like probably like 30 minutes to get over it. I fixed it. And then I was just like, okay, I felt a little bit better. And then I was good, but it was that
Yeah.
Heat Man shoe, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's fucking it feels bad. It feels really bad. Those are the days like that's why I try to make it my mission to like learn to not only accept that like those mistakes are going to happen but also like just fully embrace them, like find happiness in like the failures of things too, and just understanding and like being happy that I'm improving and I've learned something I don't want to do too, as much as you want to learn something that you do want to. um but I think that like for a while I fell into like a level of arrogance as well, where I was like, yeah, I mean, my shoes are fucking amazing. I was like, and I want to be the authority, and saying like, this is the way that you should approach things, and this is the way that I approach things. So if you want to like, do things similarly, like this is what you have to do. And then I had to humble myself really quickly, and it was like a really short period of time that it was like that. But um I always look up to and like wonder how, people like Tom Sachs did what they did and get to work with Nike and get to be a full-time artist and get to be respected in so many different fields. And I realized it was like just pure humility for so long. Like he worked a job for 20 years, like while doing art on the side. It took him more than 20 years to be a full-time artist. And here I am, like, talking about how I went full time after like 1 year or 2 years and telling people like what they should be doing. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Like that, I have nothing in the grand. I haven't achieved even close to what I want to achieve. I have almost no experience in doing this. So where like I find that there's value in my experiences and my perspectives on things, for me to go out and tell somebody that this is what they should be doing is not right.
Yep. Well, I stay, bro. I just paint and keep my mouth shut, dog.
And then here we are on the podcast telling people what they should and shouldn't be doing.
No, it's just when I'm speaking on it, it's more so like what I do, right? Like I don't speak
Yeah.
on other people. I speak off of my experiences and what I do. And if you want to apply that to your life, that's fine. Because, bro, I don't have it figured out. It's just like what I said the other day, like on my story, bro. It's why I stay humble, because you can be here today, gone tomorrow. And you don't know, like something, who knows what could happen. It's just like sports, bro. I was killing people in hooping, but I got hurt.
Yeah.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Dude, I want to revisit the point about the importance of people too, for that exact reason. Because I had somebody tell me, I think I can't remember who it was. I can't believe that I can't remember who it was.
I
But
just don't want to say it.
no, I really can't remember, honestly. I'm going between a few people in my mind, but I remember I was really struggling one day and I was really low on money, and it wasn't something that I could fix immediately. I was in between jobs and I wasn't making enough money like doing this. Like I was trying to sell shoes and I wasn't selling shoes. And I remember voicing to several people, I think you as well. I don't remember who it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But I remember voicing like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't have enough money to keep doing this, but like I don't feel like I can be happy right now if I'm not doing this. And I remember what they told me was, you have too many good people around you to let you fail. And I've lived with that ever since. And it's really true. And not even just in like work, like with family too. I realize a large part of it is definitely privilege, but a large part of it has been my ability to like communicate with people and like develop real relationships and be vulnerable with people. If you make your focus getting to know people, and make your focus developing relationships with people, and make your focus on improving your art, and essentially just not worrying as much about social media, then to me that is infinitely more important. Because if my social media is gone, if somebody pulls a shoemaker on me and fucking deletes my account at 25K, then I have so many people around me that I know are great people that will be willing to help me get back to where I need to be, or give me connections. And those types of things you can't get with numbers online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Body, just be genuine, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe I'm getting older, bro. I'm on some Gandhi stuff.
Share it, bro. What's your Gandhi stuff right now?
No, man, it's just, I don't know. I'm just at the point to where I just want to paint, support my family, man. And that's why it's just a lot of stuff just doesn't bother me. It's like even the whole competition thing, people said they were talking about me or other people in the community, calling people out their names. Like, I'm not even mad about it, bro. Like, we're all artists, man. Like, I'm not even like at this point, bro. Like, I just don't want people to do things and shoot themselves in the foot. Like I
Yeah.
said, like the old me, I probably would have been talking trash back, bro. But like I said, man, I'm at the point where we're all in the same boat, homie. You trying to paint, I'm trying to paint. We all trying to paint and have a goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, just stick together, I guess, bro. Like I'm not even mad at them. Like I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I feel the same. I think that customs, the community that we're in, art, everything, I think gets furthered with people and with relationships.
Yeah.
I think you can achieve personal success. And I think that there are select people that really make a big impact um early on by themselves. But I think in the long run, you're always going to need people
Yeah, I mean,
for
100%, bro. I mean,
always.
even if you think about you, Dylan, Mosh, myself, bro, it's the people that are part of the community. People that engage with us, people that like our work, or even just like us as people. Like, it's people like you. So they like you did your AR thing. You had I don't know how many people participate, bro. That's
Yeah.
community. That's people that like who you are. It may not even be they even care about AR, bro. They just like Zach. So yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I'll do it. Like, bro, like I guess people like Dylan. People like me, people like Maj, people that feel like they're a part of something or a community, man. It's not about just self. Like, sure, you potentially could make money and millions of dollars, I guess, doing anything. But bro, if you don't have people backing you and community supporting you, man, that $1 million ain't gonna last long.
Facts.
Just like old boy, I be always forgetting his name from Batman, bro. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And that's a fact.
That's a good way to end her off, I think, boss. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful quote. I
Yeah.
love that. Hey, so thank you guys so much for listening to this episode too. This is a fucking awesome deep dive, Sean. Thanks for joining me, brother. This is
Yes,
sick.
sir.
All right. Well, we hope you got some value from this, guys. If you enjoyed the talk, then please subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're listening to us on Spotify, then maybe go over to YouTube too and shoot a subscribe, like the video, drop a comment on your thoughts on the episode, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.